How to value banknotes. I've got two different banknotes, both in perfect condition, but one's worth $45 and one's worth $80. So how do you value them and how do you go about it? Let's do this. So we've got two here. We'll check it out. This book here, this is the latest, the brand new one that's just come out, the Renix Australian Coin and Banknote Values book. It's the 33rd edition, so they've been producing them for years and years and years, and this is the latest one. So they just come out. I've got a link to this book through the link in my account. So it's a number down on my link tree, but check it out. You can get through to the Renix website where you can pick this book up from them directly. So what you do, you need to, the very first thing I do, I look at the signatures on the note. So these two signatures here, that's a Johnston and that's a Fraser. When I first started out, I didn't know what those signatures were. So that's where this book is helpful. So in this book, you go back before the $1 notes, before the $1 notes page. So we'll get to it. The $1 notes, the page before that, there's a lot of information here that's really useful in the process. So this here is a banknote signature identification chart. So all the different signatures that can appear on the Australian banknotes. So if I find Johnston, there's Johnston. There we go. Oh, try and get the zoom in Johnston. That's the Johnston signature. So the more you check them out, the more you become familiar with them and you know which ones are which. And this one's the Fraser. So those two signatures are on that banknote there. So what you do is you need to know that, and that gives you a year. So if I come back to the $5 notes page, there's all these different years. So there's the $2 notes onto the $5 notes, 1967, the first year of the $5 note production. Now, you've got to look for those signature combinations, those two names, and you go down the list. So we've got Phillips Randall, Phillips Wheeler, and you continue on. Now, what have we got? What was it? Johnston Fraser. So if I look for Johnston Fraser right here. So there we go, 1985 banknote, OCRB. So $45 is the value. A little bit hard to sort of see there. So $45 is the value in perfect condition. So that's uncirculated condition, perfect condition. But if you've got a note and it's not in perfect condition, it's got a few creases and things like that, go back to that page where the signatures are, and it has a banknote condition grading glossary. So it's got definitions for different conditions. So uncirculated condition, perfect note, and so on. You can read that and sort of match your note against one of those descriptors right there, and then you can come to the page that's relevant once you've found it. So 1985 $5 note, and if your banknote fits the very fine condition grading, then it's going to be this one here, so $15 value, but in perfect condition, $45 for that particular note. Now this one right here, we'll check this one out. So this one here, that's a Knight Wheeler. So if I go to Knight Wheeler, look for that signature combination. So we've got Knight Wheeler here, Knight Wheeler Gothic serial side thread. So we've got center thread and side thread, and that refers to, there's a security feature that's woven through these notes. It's a little metal strip, and the center thread means that it's woven through the center of the note, and the side thread means it's woven a bit further to the side of the note. So two different sorts of values depending on that. And we've also got Knight Wheeler OCRB. Now the Gothic and the OCRB is referring to the style of print that is for the serial numbers. So Gothic serial looks like this. I'll just get a little bit more zoom in right there. So it looks like that. And the OCRB serial looks like this. And the key giveaway is look at the 9s and the 6s and things like that, the 3s. The 9s on the Gothic, they've got a bit of a loop underneath, and the 9s and these sort of come down on a diagonal. And the 3s got that really loopy sort of type thing. We have got an example of the 3 there, but the style of the letters and the numbers on the notes is the Gothic and the serial. So there we go. So when I come back to this particular note right here, looking at the serial on this, I know with that 6 and the 9, that's the OCRB style of serial. So I know that, a little bit complicated, we'll get there, but the 1976 OCRB, it has to be this one because the serial fits that. So it's a side thread, and then we look at the values, it's in perfect condition. $80 is the book value in uncirculated condition for that particular note. And you can do that process with any of the banknotes. So all the paper banknotes in this book, it's also got the pre-decimal banknotes, got coins, all sorts of things, but even into the modern notes too. So if I Continue on, it's got the modern polymer notes, the plastic notes, and you can check the values out on those as well. But most of the modern notes, they need to be in perfect condition for them to be in a higher value. So see here, the $100 notes here, all of them in all the different conditions, $100, just the face value of the note, until you're sort of getting into the perfect condition. It has to be in perfect condition for it to be worth more than just the $100. But it just depends on the year of the note and so on. And another thing to note with the modern notes, the plastic notes, most of them, it comes down to the serial number. So whatever the first two numbers are in the serial number, I'll just try and get a bit of a zoom in here. So here we see here, AN96. So the 96 refers to the year. So that's 1996, that particular note there. So the first two numbers in the serial number are the year that it was. So if it's 05, 2005. But it's just the first couple of notes, I think, that didn't apply. It was only after the first couple of years, I think, that they started to introduce that, which makes it a bit easier to identify the year. But yeah, if you've got the paper notes, you need to look at those signatures and then match it up with the year, and then you can check out the values from there. But yep, these $5 notes, two different notes, one's from 1985, one's from 1976. I've got some of these available for sale. If you want some banknotes, I do have some paper banknotes available for sale. If you email me at coincollectinganddetecting@gmail.com, then I can share with you what I've got available. And if you want to purchase some, you can too. But yeah, this book's really handy. I use this book a lot for my banknotes, value my banknotes and things like that. So it's really helpful. Yeah, so you can check that out through the link in my account as well. Good luck with your banknotes. They're cool. I reckon they're awesome. I love banknotes. They're really cool. I've got a few folders and things like that, and I've got plenty in my collection. So good luck with your collection, and catch you again soon.